Hi everybody, it's me Emily. Today I'm doing a speed build for my Able sisters. I'm going to be decorating this still using the kidcore style that I've been doing over my whole island, but what I wanted to do was place some more pink items and kind of head towards a more pastel theme for this area, just because the Able sisters has quite a lot of pink around it anyways. I felt like that might work a bit better, so that's what I'm going to be doing with. Let's get on with this video. I wanted to show you this part of floating blocks which I added to my Nook's Cranny build. I think it looks so nice when you run up that incline. I also have some tree standees here. I do need to make a couple more of those, and then at the end of this path I will be placing an incline, and I do just have some random items laid out at the moment to use on this build. The first thing which I did was lay down a whole stripe of my stone pathing. And now the normal thing which I do is come through and apply all of these grey city tiles over top. I'm actually going to be doing something slightly different though today. Normally on my builds I come back through and I use these really colourful 4x4 tiles, and I use those to kind of just spruce up the path and add a bit more colour to it. I think they look really interesting. But what I actually chose to do was pick some of these pink codes out and place those down instead. Even if they don't match in with the stone path quite as well that is underneath, I still think they look quite good, and they just really create this nice pink area that I wanted to create up here on this cliff. If at any point in this video you are looking for some of the codes, feel free to just leave me a comment with the ones you're looking for, or I do now have a video up with 100 design codes that I've used on my island. So there's a lot of great options there, and you can find any of the codes that I've been using. I just added some fun codes on top of this terracotta tile which I'd placed, and then I did try to use the stool here, but it actually didn't pull across quite as nice as I wanted it to, so I decided to add it into this back corner instead. What I'm doing with this stool is I'm going to be creating something which I've seen quite a few people do. I think it's quite a common idea. I had it on my first island actually, and it's to create an area outside of Able Sisters where you can buy clothes. So I'm placing down this heart bopper which I got from Isabel on fireworks night this Sunday, as well as a straw boater, and then I'm coming through and joining up these two patches of pathwork to create one big piece of it. And again, just adding down some more custom designs. I have some really cute ones saved that I've been wanting to use for a while, so I decided to get some use out of them in this build. I tried this yellow jelly here, but it didn't quite look right. I think it was not really standing out enough, which is why I switched it to the pink one. And then I also have this outdoor bench that I wanted to use. I just needed to add some more custom designs underneath to give it a bit of a pop, and just it kind of makes the build look more interesting in my opinion, as it adds that little extra touch to look at. And on here I placed down some shoes. I just quickly switched these around because I didn't like how I had both the blue hat and the blue shoes on one side, so I turned those right around. And I thought like it looked really sweet. The outdoor bench isn't a super common item to use. I think I could have maybe gone with some straw boxes or something like that they have. Oh no, it's not straw boxes, it's cardboard boxes, I think is what I meant. But that's fine. Here I created a circle of my custom design path over top of that brown square which I placed down. And then what I actually decided to do was change this up and kind of create circles with the path already rounded out. So a bit like so, I made this whole row of designs, just alternating between sand and dirt, because both of these codes, these are the paths which the game actually comes with, they have quite a light colour, so when you place down custom designs over top, they don't get faded out, whereas if you do the dark dirt, the custom designs kind of get muted, which isn't ideal. I placed down this jigsaw because it had pink in it, but I felt like it looked a bit too much. I think maybe because some of the reds it wasn't going with the area as much as I wanted for it to. So I took these pastel sparkle design and placed it all the way over these circles. And I love how this turned out. I think it looked so cute and just very pastel-y, and I can't put it into words, but it had the exact vibe that I was going for. I was really, really chuffed with how it looked. Now, I had this idea to use the cute sofa. This was a furniture piece which I picked out right at the start of this build. I knew I was going to want to use it. And I know the cute sofa is probably a furniture that is more suited to being inside of your house, but I felt like it looked so sweet. It just worked. And that's why I went with it. I added a candy machine so you can stop on the sofa and eat some sweets. And then I created a row of Fruit Loop codes. These are so bright and colourful, but because there are not too many primary colours, I'm trying to think what they were called, there's not too many primary colours, and so I feel like it works quite nicely to create a contrast between this and my main kidcore island. I did want to say thank you all so much for watching my videos. I feel like some of my recent videos, even though I know compared to some other channels they don't get loads of views, my entrance speed build is on like 60 views, and I'm just so pleased about that. I'm really, really glad that so many of you have enjoyed it and been able to find inspiration from some of my projects. I'm definitely loving this island, and it's making me so happy that you are also enjoying it alongside me. I came in with some of these jellies and just created a row of these. Something which I did quite a bit in this build was create rows of patterns. You can see I had that row of Fruit Loops, a row of jellies, and then going up that side I have my row of circles leading towards that tree standee. And I just think it worked really well. It kind of helps close off the area. I placed down a puddle here in some dark dirt so it looked like a bit of a muddy puddle. And then I did come through with a utility pole just because I feel like it makes the area look a bit more city-like, and a shopping district would normally be quite city-ish. I switched out my custom designs for this item which I knew I had, which was the manhole cover. And actually the manhole covers are such a great item, a bit like the leaf piles. You can run straight over them, so it works really nicely to add a detail to your island without kind of taking up any space on your pathings. And they have some really cute customizations of those manhole covers as well, so that's why you can see mine is looking pink, but if you leave it plain it's just a grey circle, which also looks nice, but I felt like the pink worked better for this build. I added some of these mushroom platforms. I went with the small ones because of course you can customise those ones to be pink, and if I haven't said pink enough in this video, I definitely wanted the pink furniture as much as I could. So I placed down my two mushroom platforms. They look so adorable. And then I started to choose items to place onto these tables. I went with a strawberry boba, but unfortunately that item is so small when you place it down. I wish it was just a tiny bit bigger, but I guess that's just the way of things. I still ended up settling on it because I liked how it looked. And so even though it's a bit small and maybe not fully proportionate, I felt like it worked fine. Here I tried out the cotton candy. Or it's candy floss as we call it in England. So what I did was I actually came back and placed down the candy floss on that right side, and then I came with this floating star and placed it on this one, which turned out very sweet. The final touch for this island for me was just to start sprinkling around some extra items to fill in the gaps, starting out with this yellow balloon, so bright and colourful, and again it doesn't take up a lot of space, so I felt like it just added a nice detail. And then I took these star fragments and I just dropped them wherever there was a blank space that I felt like I could do with something. And this is so cute, it just turned out really sweet when I did this. My only thing would be, if you're going to drop star fragments, just be careful if you're particularly worried about them, that nobody takes them from your island when you have visitors. So we have, on this final walkthrough, a little space to come and choose some new items. A sofa to have a sit, my mushroom platforms, coming back towards this extra mushroom platform, and this beautiful tree standee. It's so pink and pastel, and yet I feel like it still has a really beautiful kind of kidcore vibe to it, which I'm just so pleased with how this area turned out. Definitely one of my favourite areas on my island at the moment. I really do hope that you all enjoyed watching. If you did, please consider leaving me a like and a comment on this video. They make me so happy when I get to talk with you all in the comments. And do make sure that you're subscribed so that you can see what I go on to build on this island. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye!